To the family of Joseph Muhia, a man who was working in a furniture shop at Ruiru, is yet to get an answer to one question: whether their son died at an inferno at the shop when he was working, or he is still alive. Joseph is said to have been at the Modern Pacific furniture shop in Ruiru when fire razed down a section of the shop. While the owners of the shop claim that there were no human remains found inside aside from a dog's carcass, the family believes Muhia might have died. Mudhoni Brenda tells us more.
The family of Joseph Muhia Nganga is gathered with faithfuls from AIPCA Ndirima Parish to conduct prayers for the father of two who disappeared on the 18th of December 2024. They lit candles and spoke out his name loud. But during the prayers, I quickly realized that the church was not praying for Joseph's return. They believe that he is already dead, and the prayers were aimed at getting justice for the family. After the service, they shared their pain, a raw, unrelenting, suffocating pain that is etched in every trembling word. Muhia's wife says that the last time she spoke to her husband was the night of the 17th of December 2024.
The last time niliongea na Jose ilikuwa tarehe 17, 2024, usiku ya saa 3. Na akaniambia ako kazi. Alikuwa anafanya kazi kwa Modern Furniture, Pacific Furniture. Na alikuwa analala huko.
Her husband had just returned to work at Modern Pacific Furniture Ruiru's branch after a week of being on leave. The day after her husband had returned to work, a distressing call came in the morning.
On
Wednesday, Joseph's auntie called me, asking if I was aware that Joseph's place of work had gone up in flames. I told her no, and after the phone call with the auntie, I tried to call him, but he was offline. Called again, and the call went to voicemail.
On the 18th of December 2024, at around 6:34 a.m., Modern Pacific Furniture's shop in Ruiru, Kiambu County, where Joseph worked, went up in flames. These CCTV footages taken on that day show a fire that was ruthless, hungry, and unforgiving as it tore through the warehouse. After the news of the fire, they all tried to frantically call him.
I called the sister and asked if she had tried to call the brother, and she said that his phone went on voicemail. Started getting worried because Jose would not spend more than 3 nights without calling me. So he's not a person whose whereabouts were unknown. He knew I had blood pressure, and he would consistently call to ask about my health too.
When the fire finally came to a halt, the owner of Modern Pacific Furniture's Gibson Murage would address employees and bloggers who had rushed to the scene.
Ni milioni mingi sana zimeungua huko ndani, lakini tunaambia Mungu asanti sababu hakuna mtu ameungua.
This statement would give the family hope that Joseph was still out there somewhere. But after continually trying to reach him and his phone going unanswered, the mother tells me she started believing that the blaze had taken her son, and since that day, sleep has become expensive to come by.
3 days later, and no call from Jose, and I knew deep down that my Jose was normal because he would not go a day without calling me. He was gone.
They would then start a desperate, painful search for Joseph Muhia that would leave them broken every time they came back home with no news of their son.
Tumezunguka for long. Tumeenda mochari, Vika, Kiambu, Muranga, Nairobi. Hakuna mahali tujaenda, tumezunguka.
She explains that her husband preferred working on the night shift and that fateful night was no different. He had confirmed in a call that he was at work at Modern Pacific branch in Ruiru.
Ni kama Jose alichomekea huko. Unajua kuna vitu zingine unaweza lala uone. Sometimes nalala hivi, naona kitu imekuja, kitu imechomeka. Na ni kama kuna siku niliota Jose akiwa amefungwa ni kama na kamba hivi, na ni kama kuchomeka amechomeka. So hiyo kitu ilinisumbua for long mpaka sasa nikafungukia.
However, Modern Pacific Furnitures maintained that Joseph was not inside the warehouse the day the fire occurred. On January 6, 2025, the owner of Modern Pacific Furnitures, Gibson Morage, shared a long post on his Facebook platform seeking to give updates on the fire. Morage wrote,
"We regret to inform you that one of our casual employees, Joseph Muhia, has been reported missing. CCTV footage shows him leaving the premises the day before the fire, and he has not returned since."
Gibson Morage would go a step further and summon the family to the scene where the fire had happened just 2 days after the incident.
Kufika tu hapo Modern tuliwapata hapo kwa showroom. So sisi tunajua Morage. Sasa mimi nilienda direct tukawasalamia. After kuwasalamia tukawaambia sisi ni sister wa Jose. Akatuambia ni sawa, hata mmefanya vizuri mmefika. Akatutafutia mahali tukaketi. Alitupelekanga kwa ofisi yake. Akatuambia tunangoja DCI.
Without psychological preparation and without any information beforehand, the sister and the employees were presented with the only alleged remains found after the fire. A carcass that the Directorate of Criminal Investigations officers from Ruiru Police Station said belonged to a dog.
One of the DCI akaichukua, akaileta sasa mpaka nje. Bado tukiwa naona wakazi nini unaona. Tukakuja mpaka nje. After there, au DCI tu na Morage ndo wanasema si mnaona hii ni umbwa. Si mnaona hii ni umbwa.
In a post made on that day, Morage wrote,
"Authorities thoroughly searched the debris and confirmed that there were no human remains found inside, aside from a dog's carcass, which has been examined by the DCI Forensics Department in the presence of our staff and Muhia's family before being disposed of."
He would then, in a further attempt to prove that Joseph was not in the warehouse, release these CCTV footages showing him leaving the premises as he had posted earlier. But when the family and a section of public asked for CCTV footages showing the whole evening to establish whether Joseph returned to work, Modern Pacific Furnitures says they did not capture it as there was no electricity at the time. An eyewitness who spoke to TV47 has given a completely different order of events. According to him, Joseph Muhia returned in the evening after he left for a stroll and was sleeping in the warehouse when the fire happened.
Kitu saa 5:30 ya usiku stima zilipotea. Mimi nikaamua sitaenda nyumbani na giza. Nilienda nikalala kando ya Jose. Jose nilimpata akiwa amefungulia simu kwa redio, alikuwa anasikiza redio ya. So pia mimi nilala kando yake. Lakini usiku kitu saa 7 hivi mimi nikahama mahali Jose alikuwa. Nikaenda nikalala position nyingine na nikalala mpaka asubuhi 6:05 hapo hivi. Kulitoka kijana mmoja juu kulikuwa na vijana walikuwa wanafanya kazi ya welding, walikuwa wanatengeneza second floor. Aliteremka akisemaga moto. Sasa mimi mahali nilikuwa nimelala kujifungua, mimi niliona light ya moto. Mimi niliruka bio sana, nikateremka chini, nikatoka nje. Nikitoka already warehouse ilikuwa ishapata moto.
Not only did he get the courage to speak to us, but he summoned enough courage then to speak to his boss about it. And what followed has left him shaken to his core.
Hiyo mabaki ukiangalia, ulikuwa unaona spinal cord vile inakaa. Na ni kama alikuwa amejaribu kuamka juu ilikuwa ndio kidogo nikamwambia boss kuna kitu nataka nikuambie. Nikamwambia boss, hata sasa ile unasema ni mbwa ilichomekea huko, ni Jose kwa sababu tulikuwa na yeye. Alililukia na ukali sana. Akaniambia sifai kukuwa nikisema hivyo juu CID wa Ruiru wanajua ni mbwa ilichomeka, maaskari wa huko Ruiru wanajua ni mbwa ilichomeka. Saa mimi nikienda kusema ni mtu alichomekea huko, ni hata naweza uawa.
2 days after that chilling conversation, friends and family would hold protests outside the furniture shop in Ruiru. After his name was mentioned during the protests, the eyewitness says the boss, Gibson Morage, came to pick him up.
Akaniambia niingie kwa gari. Kaingia kwa gari yake tukiwa na kijana mwingine hapo. Akatupeleka kwa DCI. Kutupeleka kwa DCI akatuambia, nikaambiwa, akaenda akawaambia huko kwa maandamano mimi ninatajwa huko, kuna mama alinitaja na ninasema ninajua kwenye Jose yako. Mmoja alikuja akapiga meza kofi na nguvu, akaniuliza unasema Jose yako wapi wewe? Huyu mmoja alinishika kichwa, huyu askari mwingine akaniambia kumwambia hapana, wachana na wao, siku tutaweka kwa ngunia watatuambia kwenye Jose yako. Mimi vile nilitoka kwa gari yake, hivyo ndivyo mimi niliwacha kazi kwake. Na kutoka hapo sasa ndio tukikutana na wenzangu wananiambia wewe ujua ukaange ukijua hata kama uko huku nje ukijua unatafutwa.
Efforts to reach Gibson Morage and his office at Modern Furnitures proved futile. The family has now taken Modern Pacific Furnitures to court, and the case will be mentioned tomorrow on Tuesday at the Thika Law Courts. They tell me that they are sure that their son is dead and that they are not looking for any monetary compensation. They just want the remains of their son so that they can get closure and give him a dignified burial. Modern Pacific Furnitures have already resumed their business, but the family of Joseph Muhia is still stuck on the 18th of December 2024 when the fire that they believe consumed their son happened. Muthoni Brenda for TV 47 from Kandara, Murang'a County.